Hi, everybody. Welcome to the John Mendola Show as we welcome in Matt Lanzendorfer here on the John Mendola Show and via Scranton Prep, Misericordia, Virginia, and now the LA Dodgers, part of the draft. And it's all happening pretty quickly here, Matt. First up, how you feeling? And congratulations.
No, thank you. I'm honored to be on your show, and I'm honored to talk to you. I'm really good. Kind of this surreal moment when you dream of something of playing in the professional baseball. It's a surreal moment, and I'm just trying to soak it all in before everything gets going here quick.
Let's talk about, and we'll go everywhere. We'll go backwards, we'll go forwards, but like, what were your feelers out there as far as going in the draft? Like, was there around, some hey, you might go here, you might go there. What were your thoughts, and how about team wise as well?
Yeah, so going into it was very interesting for me. So I actually was talking to the Phillies, the Pirates, a couple closer teams, the Giants, the Braves. I was talking to a few different teams who reached out. And the Dodgers actually only reached out one time to kind of just get my advisor's contact. So they weren't really on my radar to be ones to essentially draft me. And we knew the draft round mark was either 10 to the 15th, somewhere in there. And I got the call on the 14th that the Dodgers were going to take me either in the 14th or the 15th. And that's kind of how it went. And it can't be more excited.
Let's go back. Obviously, Scranton Prep, and then you're looking at schools. Where am I going to go? What's the right fit? Let's talk about your high school career there at Scranton Prep first, then take us up for your selection to head to Misericordia University.
Yeah, so at Scranton Prep, I went there. My sister went there to swim, and my parents thought it was a great idea for me to follow her and go to Scranton Prep. And kind of as a freshman, I originally got hurt with a shoulder injury playing baseball, and it hindered my ability to play for the first 2 years. And then to come back my junior year, kind of play in the outfield, not pitch as much, to kind of still rest my shoulder a little bit. I I ended up tearing my hip flexor in the middle of that year, and my senior year was in 2020, so it was during COVID. So my high school career was all over the place, full of injury, full of not knowing. And so I set up myself to go to Misericordia to go into nursing school. And kind of a month before I went there, I emailed Coach Egbert. As a walk-on player, I said, "Can you just at least give me a shot?" And at the time, I probably shouldn't have. I probably threw it 78 to 80 miles an hour. That's giving myself a little bit. And I was mainly an outfielder with an all senior outfield at the time at Misericordia, so it was hard for me to find a job. So it was hard for him to even keep me on the team, to be quite frank. And so I put a lot of work in. I gained a lot of velocity that year. Kind of started sitting more 83, 85 at the time, and from there I just kept getting better, and then my junior year I tore my UCL on our trip to the World Series in 2023 that we unfortunately lost. And I came out of that year and I told Coach Egbert, I said, "I know I'm a nursing major, but I'm going to do everything I can to get back on the field." And that's exactly what I did. And that's I was a part of a big team that went and won the national championship in 2024, which gave me the opportunity to play at Virginia.
How about being a number like at Misericordia? You're just so many guys, 50 guys, and thinking, man, am I ever going to get on the field? Having that will, having that determination that, wait till you see. Did you have that belief in yourself that you really had something special, or did you have something to prove?
No, I mean, I think it was more of something to prove. There was a lot of people that always told me you can't do nursing and baseball at the same time because you play 4 games a week, up to 5 sometimes if you got rain, especially in northeastern PA. You get that quite a bit. So everybody was like, you can't do that. And I've always been the rebel to say that anything could be possibly done. And I'm happy to finally say that I am actually a registered nurse and also playing in professional baseball. So I was able to accomplish both. And that was a big driving factor for me, and people essentially saying I couldn't do something that I knew I could.
That national championship at Misericordia, we saw how difficult it was. Obviously, this year didn't go as well for the Cougars, unfortunately for them. But talk about that special run, that special group of guys, and somebody like Coach Egbert who just stays after it, stays with it, and really meticulous at what he does, and tries to bring the best out of everybody. And it all kind of clicked.
Yeah, no, I mean that was the most special group. I mean, I talk to those guys almost every single day, and we talk about it all the time. And it was the guys that brought us that national championship. It was the relationships that we built, the drive, and the willingness to do everything it took to kind of win that year. And Coach Egbert was the prime example and the leader of that. He expected nothing but the best out of each and every person, and it was a high standard, and it caused you to have some pretty high level discipline to play for him. And him kind of expecting that out of you is kind of what drove us to be our best. And that year, it was just the culmination of a great culture that's been built for more than a decade at this point, along with just great personalities and guys that wanted to work hard and win consistently. And putting all those kind of aspects together with great coaching with Coach Egbert, Coach Demaray, Coach Gregory, like it was exactly what we needed for that year to go as well as it did.
Now, I just want to make sure. I'm not sure my story's 100% here, so you could correct me if I'm wrong. But so you're living at the time, you're finishing up Misericordia, living with a couple guys from Wilkes around the baseball team?
Correct.
And those guys are great guys. And then you're like, I guess as Mike Guy told me, the story goes like, you're kind of like, let me just put my name in the portal. You're kind of like, just like, kind of, let's see what happens. So pick up that story and tell us what really, like, is that pretty much where we were at after 2024?
So after 2024, I was preparing for the NCLEX. I took the NCLEX. I passed it, thank God, because that's one of the harder exams that I've ever taken. But we actually had an alumni golf outing for Misericordia baseball. We have it every year, which is a great time. But we were all talking about how one of our teammates of that year, Connor Marinac, was in the transfer portal and getting looks and different things. And I heard about it, and I'm like, well, I have another year. Like, I don't have to get into nursing right this second. Like, why don't I give myself a chance? And I texted Coach Guy. I sat down with Coach Egbert, and I said, I think this is what I kind of want to do to level up my baseball exposure. And when I went in the portal, I got a ton of offers from a bunch of amazing programs. But when I spoke to Coach Dickinson down at pitching coach that was at Virginia, who is now at Missouri, he kind of gave me that competitive security of an ability to work a spot and to give myself an opportunity this year, which obviously worked out to be the deciding factor of me going professional.
Go from Misericordia to Virginia. Were you nervous? Did you think, boy, am I going to be able to play at this level? What's it going to be like these guys taking me? And here's this D3 guy. Like, what was your mentality going in? And obviously you proved that, like, listen, I belong here.
Well, at first, obviously, there's that little bit of kind of nerves. So you play 4 years at D3, and it's like, are you really? Does it really stack up? And after a couple of weeks, I was unsure of that, and a lot of people kind of knew that, because that was the question of if I was going to make that jump. But I kind of started to put in the work again. I started to make jumps in the weight room, put on a lot more weight, kind of really focus on what I needed and what my weaknesses were, and doing that for six months to prepare for a season at a school that kind of allowed me to focus on baseball at that point, really allowed me to kind of make those big jumps, and just trusting that the work that I put in was enough. Having that confidence in just the day-to-day work was the confidence I needed to kind of have the year that I did.
About the atmosphere, the experience, the travel, obviously different than Misericordia, and I know you hold a special place in your heart of what you were able to experience with the Cougars. But what was it like for you to travel and be in the places that you went to at the University of Virginia?
I mean, there was nothing short of special. I mean, to have that Division I experience of playing every day with a group of guys that you're traveling all over the country. We went from Puerto Rico to California to Texas. We were all over the place, and just finding a way to get ready to play and get ready to win in every game, meaning everything at every moment of in college baseball. It was the pinnacle of exactly what my dream was, to play at the high level in front of a bunch of people, and for it to mean something.
Let's talk about that relationship with Coach Egbert. You know, having that conversation with him, as difficult as it was. I'm sure you guys are in a good place.
Yeah, no, I mean, I sat down with him. I kind of explained to him that after 4 years, there's not really much more I can do nursing wise or school wise, and we had a little bit of a battle there. And I think at first, I think he might not have thought that I could make the jump that I did. And I think there was a lot of people that said that. But at the end of the day, I was able to do it. And I kind of proved that. And after kind of going through our national championship ceremony and different things with the ring ceremony, we started to connect a little bit more. And I actually just got off the phone with him today, and we have a great relationship. And I couldn't thank him enough, and Misericordia, for just the ability and the opportunity to play and to get myself to this stage.
How about your coaches there at Virginia? Were they confident right off of the bat with you? You said, hey, the first couple of weeks, I'm kind of, hey, how's this going? But were they kind of giving you that shot in the arm, like, listen, here, we're going to need you in these positions here?
Yeah, no, they were they were more confident in me at many points than I was in myself, which was the biggest thing for me. Having Coach Drew Dickinson and having Coach O'Connor kind of behind me at all times, and expecting me to kind of be that guy I was at the Division III level, and to kind of just let the stuff that helped me at D3 help me at Division I. And once I kind of settled into that and kind of learned a little bit more of how to attack hitters and not to throw the same pitch multiple times in the same spot, and just little things that you get away with that you don't realize, and the strike zones being smaller, like dealing with those little things were difficult as being new to Division I. But their confidence in me was really what kind of allowed me to make the jumps that I did.
Let's talk a little bit about your pitching. What velocity are you reaching? And, did you develop any more of a pitch at Virginia from Misericordia? Where are we at there?
Yeah, so I'm actually throwing a whole lot different than I was at Misericordia. At Misericordia, we really didn't know how hard we were throwing. We never really utilized the radar gun because velocity wasn't the big factor. It was making sure you were throwing strikes. So I was probably maybe 86 to 89 at the Division III level, and this year I was 92 to 94 up to 95. With a high ride fastball, kind of carrying at the top of the zone, and then I developed a new breaking ball, which is now you would call it a slurve. It's kind of a harder curveball, and then I now throw a slide or a changeup splitter type mix into, which really helped me kind of keep hitters off balance and do a lot of different things.
health wise? Do you feel as healthy as have you had in your pitching career? You feel real good?
I haven't felt any better this past year. Just being able to kind of focus on that ability to kind of stay healthy and keep more preventative maintenance was a big thing to kind of allow myself to go out there each and every day. It's hard when when you're doing all the schooling at Misericordia, which is a big part of academics, but kind of being able to focus on that like, athletic part of it was kind of a big factor for me.
Well, Matt, we have no idea how it works, and you could share what you want with however personal you want to get here. So you get drafted by the Dodgers. Somebody's got to call you. Somebody's got to say, "Hey, we're going to be in touch in the next 24 to 48 hours. Tell you where you're going to report to. We're going to get you a couple grand, whatever those things are." So, like, how does that part work? Like, when are you going to kind of get up and get moving in the next few days?
So essentially, so the area scout that recommended me reached out to me and kind of gave me a few parts of the next steps. Like I'll be leaving within the weekend to kind of go out to Arizona, their development facility, to kind of do all the medical stuff and kind of get prepared and get ready to get out and play in kind of 2 to 3 weeks, somewhere in that range, hopefully. But I mean, a lot of that stuff is going to happen here in the next couple of days. A lot of the different organization pieces of getting the flight out there and kind of developing a plan for kind of what I want to work on and when to work on it and when to start playing. A lot of that is still up in the air, but I'm looking forward to getting a lot of those answers here in the next couple of days to kind of just get my feet on the ground and start running.
And I'm sure. Let's talk about your family. Tell us about them, and then we'll kind of get into some of that logistics because I'm sure they're gonna want to go help you, whether it's drive or fly or kind of get you settled. But tell us about all those people in your family that are important to you that have been by your side.
No, I have a pretty large family, but everybody is so beyond excited. My mom and my dad are kind of they're still in shock a little bit. It it's been a long road, but it's been pretty quick up in the last couple of years. So it's been a lot for them, but they support me unlike anybody else. And my sister and having everybody around it was kind of the best of everything to have their support, because their support is, at the end of the day, is everything, because then there wouldn't be a reason to keep going. So kind of having my friends and family support and having two loving parents and a great sister really helped me kind of just keep pushing on this road and to really just put everything I have into it. I mean, they're excited. I mean, once I start playing, I'm hoping they'll fly out and come down. It's completely across the country, but it should get interesting here pretty quick.
High school friends, childhood friends, college friends. You're out golfing yesterday. Like, you're still kind of trying to soak up. I'm sure you have some stuff planned, and we should be at somewhere right now saying, "Hey, we got some autographs," and you get a chance to meet Matt here in the next day or two because you're going to be going. But talk a little bit about just trying to soak up as much time here as your time is valuable. We appreciate you taking some time to talk to us today because you're getting pulled, I'm sure, in a bunch of directions. But talk about trying to soak up what you could here before you take that trip.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to connect with everybody that I've ever kind of seen in the kind of in the world of baseball, but also in my life. There's a lot of people that kind of supported me behind the scenes that even other people don't know, which was big to kind of talk to them and connect with them and to kind of just make sure that this isn't kind of only a self kind of triumph here. It's more of a celebration of kind of everybody, because it wasn't just me who did this. It's the teammates, it's the support, it's the parents taking you to games as a kid and taking that little bits of time, and the coaches putting their time into my development, and it's a lot more of a complex situation looking back on it objectively, because there's so many people that really put their time and effort kind of into you being successful and taking advantage of the resources. So making sure I connect with them over the last couple of days have been huge.
How about growing up? What kind of major league fan were you? Did you have a team?
So it's actually ironic because around here everybody's either a Philadelphia fan or they're a New York fan, but I actually grew up Clayton Kershaw fan, so I followed the Dodgers for a little while now, and just the way he goes about the game is the way I try to emulate it. So it's been cool. I was originally a Pittsburgh Pirate fan, but just seeing the way he goes about the game, it it transformed my outlook. So I've actually been a Dodger fan for a little while. So it's pretty cool to be able to go and play for them.
Any relationships with any major leaguers from Northeast PA or any connections there? You know, Jake McCarthy right now in the Arizona organization. You got Max Kranick with the Mets, and a couple other guys floating around. But any relationships with any of those guys?
No, I mean I think I played with Mason Black's brother Dixon a long time ago, and I also played with Ryan Cicerini, who's with the Cleveland Guardians now. But I mean, I think there's a little bit of an age gap of the McCarthy brothers and Max Kranick and some of those other guys. But I know there's a lot of talent in this area, and I'm kind of getting excited to kind of meet those guys and see how their processes work, because baseball is obviously a small world, and kind of coming from this area is an even smaller one. So it's going to be pretty cool to kind of build those type of relationships and that type of thing.
Well, Matt, congratulations, the Dodgers, your national championship, Misericordia, being at Virginia, having fun here. And again, it's funny because you and I are just a couple of miles away right now. We're in a video conference call, but we truly appreciate you taking out some time today after getting drafted by the Dodgers. All the best, man. Go get them. All right.
Well, I greatly appreciate it. I'm honored to speak with you, and I'm looking forward to kind of the next steps and winning some more games.
Well, you made us proud here in Northeastern Pennsylvania. We look to continue to grow that with what the next step is for you, Matt. All the best.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.